Let's make me bigger. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to SATAL 2021. As always, I'm your host, Molter, and today we have a twofer. We got a doubleheader, SPQR taking on TAW, followed by Golden Crown against LAO. And there is a mistake right there in the matchup screen. It is 4v4 for Diamond League and 6v6 for Gold League. So 4v4 is what we're going to get started with. SPQR taking on TAW, followed by the 6v6 gold match of GC Golden Crown taking on LAO. Persian Seagull saying Big Moltar is big. I guess. I mean, I'm 6'4", 6'5", 260. So I'm not a small human. I am quite a large human being. Get out of my way. My wife's always like, why do you cross the street like that? Well, I figure somebody must be blind if they don't see me. I mean, I'm a big old human being. If you can't see me, something's going on with your eyesight. Anyway, today, doubleheader. Getting started with SPQR taking on TAW. TAW are the defending third place in Gold League and winners of Diamond League last year. Now, I do not know what pilots will be taking place. I had heard from TAW that they are keeping it how they did last year, where the 6v6 would be separate from their 4v4, even though they can cross teams. So, you know, I don't know who's going to be flying. I ain't no John Cena. I am not. I am probably smaller than John Cena. I am not that big, unfortunately. Hell yeah, finally able to catch a stream when it's live. Hell yeah, Army Ranger 215. Welcome. Hopefully you enjoy the show. Last time I'm going to say this, SPQR against TAW is getting us started in Diamond League 4v4. And then our second match of the day, we're not sure if we're going to have a supercut immediately for that match. There will be one released, but with the highlight video that we will see at again at the end of this matchup, or we'll actually put it between these two matches that Alpha Whiskey was working on. He got a little bit behind, so we'll have to see if he's able to finish the supercut for the second match of Golden Crown against LAO. So, check out the supercut for this first match, SPQR against TAW. When we get back, it is going to be Guadada taking on Mineral Vodi, I think is what the mission location is. Did I get that right? Guadada against Mineral Vodi. So mountains will be in play in this 4v4 Diamond League matchup. Matches are pre-recorded. The commentary is live. So we play things back from tracks so we don't have to worry about screen sniping or scheduling or any of that stuff. So the commentary is live, but the tracks are not. And if I didn't tell you that, I don't think you would actually know, because it play-by-play goes in order. You know, it's exactly how the real match took place. So that's just how things go. Anyway, enjoy the supercut. We'll be back getting in for the action. 4v4 Diamond, SPQ, Spectrum, and I can't tell who the other one is, but let's go ahead and look at the overlay. So TAW is being represented by three F-18s, F-18s, Preacher, Frosty, and Spectrum, and the Singleton F-16 of Blaze. Meanwhile, taking a look at SPQR, we can see they've got at least one Jeff and one Tomcat there in the background. SPQR is rocking two F-16s, the Moose Marauder and the Gopnik Czar, a JF-17 from Praetorian, and Alpha Gator in the F-14. That is who is flying in today's matchup. So gotta love the SPQR skins. TAW doesn't have any skins. They just rock what's natively in the game. So these guys are getting ready to taxi. I can see Spectrum in his F-18 pulling out. He's sitting next to a couple of the other F-18s. Frosty looks like he's getting ready to pull forward after Spectrum, and Preacher is right next to him. So 3 F-18s for TAW. I anticipate a significant weapons advantage coming from TAW, as well as an situational awareness weapons advantage. Pranav MVP says SPQR destroyed number 15. I wouldn't necessarily call it destruction, but they won. Is there a reason why nobody uses an S? An S. What is an S? There was a few in the past matches. What is an S? I don't know what an S is. There were few in past matches. I must have missed this conversation somewhere of what exactly this was. Sequoia! Oh, okay. Yeah, there was actually one featured in the highlight video that you guys will see here after this matchup before we move on to Golden Crown and LAO. That won a match for one of the teams. So Sequoias are a thing. The problem that Sequoias run into is situational awareness, right? They don't have peer-to-peer data link right now. Now, in single player they do, but in multiplayer inside of DCS they do not. SPQR, dude, I loaded your guys' skins. I swear to God I did. I don't know why they're not working. I know I had them. Let me see if yeah, I have them. Something must be messed up with the download from Banana, because they should be working. I don't know why they're not working, but I do have them, and I installed them, and I went through this last week with or last match yesterday, making sure that they all worked before I got in here, and I don't know. I don't know why they don't work. I'm trying. I'm just installing things that people give me of the livery repos, and they don't work, evidently. So I'm a failure. Just blame me. Blame me, AlphaGator. I am sorry. You guys aren't going to look pretty today. I mean, the Tomcat looks pretty regardless, but you're not going to look pretty, evidently, today. So Frosty and Spectrum are going to be the lead F-18s for TAW, followed closely behind by Preacher and Blaze. Now, remember, TAW 4v4 came in third place last year behind Griffin Squadron and 343rd Naval Air Group in the Gold League. Last year, Gold League was 4v4 and Diamond League was only 6v6. There was only one division in each one of those formats. Navy Doc Moltar, when you have to rename windows, did that have to do anything with skins not showing up? No, that didn't. I don't know why they didn't show up. It's probably an issue with the repo and things getting copied to Google Drive would be my guess. I will check it after today's streams. We'll get there, guys. You got SPQR's got many, many more matches to come, right? They're in 6v6 and 4v4, if I remember correctly. I think. SPQR, are you in both 6v6 and 4v4? I don't remember. But these guys are going to have many, many more matches to come. At least 4 more in 4v4 after this one. So you got plenty of times for you guys to show up on stream. Don't worry. I will get it fixed. We've already gotten the streams working better. I'm getting used to pushing all the buttons again. It was hectic the first couple days with me getting everything ready to rock and roll. But we're getting there, and it'll all get dialed in. The key here is to get to the finals, and by the time I get to the finals after 4 months, I will have no mistakes. I say that now, and I'm going to have all kinds of mistakes. Jeff has no center bag. It is Guadada just against Mineral Voti, so it's not a huge mission location. We can take a look at the map location. So here it is. There's the bubble size. Guadada against Mineral Voti. Distance between airfields is going to be 130 miles. So I don't think you really need a center line. I mean, I like a center line because I like to gate up to altitude and then jettison my center line. I like getting that altitude, getting rid of that tank instead of just not taking it. That's how I view it, at least. So we'll have to see. The Gopnik Tsar taken off for SPQR. He has just started rolling. And then we've got Frosty and Spectrum in the lead F-18s. There are 3, reminder, for TAW, taking off over at, looks like he's at Mineral Voti. So SPQR is going to be at Guadada. TAW is at Mineral Voti. Center line less drag and stealthier than wing tanks? Don't necessarily think that's true. I think wing tanks are actually less dragging than center line. But the amount of fuel and the weight, somebody correct me. Somebody in chat knows this better than I do, so I'll just say that. So SPQR, the Gopnik Tsar, in the F-18. Does he have a center line? He does have a center line. So Gopnik Tsar is going to do, I think, what I typically do, and that is gate up to altitude, get rid of the center line as soon as you pass like 25,000 feet, and then you've got the 2 wing tanks. And then you've gotten, effectively, the that distance, 25,000 for free. The thing you don't want to do is hold on to that center line tank. I would say don't do that. Chat, again, if I am wrong, please correct me. But I would say do not hold on to tanks longer than you need to. Now, some people will say go through your wing tanks first and then hold the center line. I like my wing tanks before the center line, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. But Gopnik Tsar is doing what I typically do, and that is gate up through altitude, jettison the center line, have the 2 wing tanks for the rest of till the medium part of the fight. So you go from 14,000 down to 12,000 pounds of fuel on the center line. Then you go from 12,000 to 5,000 on the 2 wing tank. No, 12,000 to 7,000, excuse me, on the 2 wing tanks. So that's how I look at it. What is Blaze carrying? Does he have a center line? Blaze also has a center line. So it looks like all the F-16 pilots, all 2 of them, are taking the same approach. Gate up to altitude. Blaze is coming through 15,000 feet. He departed a little bit later than Gopnik Tsar. They're going to jettison, I think, as long as they remember those center lines. There went the center line from Gopnik Tsar. We see it falling away. There it goes. Falling away from his aircraft. So he did remember to get rid of it. He did remember to get rid of it. Does he have the pod on? No. No pod. The SPJ pod is worth far more than centerline. I don't use the pod. Just got to use that field of view zoom, man. Taking a look at Alpha Gator. Is there something tricky with the F-14s, chat, in jettisoning their wing tanks? Is that a Rio thing or is that a pilot thing? Because I think far too often I see F-14s holding on to those tanks. Same for Eagles in real life. Standard loadout is wing tanks and centerline only for ferry. Wing tanks are significantly more aerodynamic than the centerline. That was my understanding. The wing tanks and how they conform to the wing and the fuselage kind of gives it more of that flying wing-esque, but when you put a center line on, it removes and adds drag to that lifting body. Now, with the F-16, because it's not really a lifting body like the F-15 or the F-22, for example, or the Su-27, I don't know. I have no idea. I won't pretend to know, because I flat out do not know. But that would be my estimation. So these guys are coming together. Gopnik Tsar and the Moose Marauder. I love that name. Gopnik Tsar and Moose Marauder leading the way for SPQR. We'll go through the teams here again. SPQR, I guess we won't. We're going to change camera angles. SPQR rocking 3 different types of aircraft, and I was wrong. There are 3 F-16s in today's matchup. The Moose Marauder, the Gopnik Tsar, both in F-16s. Praetorian in a JF-17, and Alpha Gator in an F-14, and then the Art of Warfare has Preacher, Frosty, and Blaze Spectrum in F-18s, and Blaze in that 3rd match overall F-16s. We got 4 Hornets, 3 F-16s, 1 JF-17, and 1 F-14. That is the lineup for the aircraft that is being taken by everyone in today's matchup. SPJ pod gives better RWR accuracy, which is why you should take it over center line. Are you talking about for the Jeff? You're talking about for the Jeff, right, Simmons? Because I don't think there's anything like that for the F-16, right? If there is, I need to be on this. What is the JF-17 advantage? Isn't the F-16 better? Not anymore! F-16 went through a massive radar nerf. Its detection range on its piddly-diddly radar is like under 50 miles. Okay? So its radar, it's like itty-bitty baby radar in comparison to everything else. It does have a smaller RCS. It's got a decent energy state, but the Jeff has the missile warning system. It's got a better radar. It's got longer range missiles. The SD-10 is a better missile, I would say, than the 120 until you get down low. When you get down low, the SD-10 becomes a big pile of turd juice. That's a puddle, not a pile, but that's what we're going to go with. Up high, though, SD-10, woo, woo, it's a good missile, but you only got 4. F-16, it's got the 6 AIM-RAMs. You can take AIM-9s, but why would you, especially with the AIM-9X being banned? The F-16 does have an advantage, however, in energy states. The Jeff just doesn't have the energy retention or gain that the F-16 has. So those are the trade-offs. Sniffer says, well, the F-16 isn't really built to yeet them fighters. No, it's really not. It was kind of a cheap multi-role aircraft to subsequently run alongside things like the F-15, and it shared a lot of parts with the F-15. But in DCS, it's very, very good, and I enjoy flying it. It just feels more like a like a pilot's aircraft. I just really like it. AIM-54, we saw come off from Alpha Gator. Well, I saw it come off, and it's going out. What is that? Can't tell what it is. Is that it's a Mark 60. Hey, so none of that C variant shenanigan BS. This is a Mark 60, and we're going to ride along with it and see how she fares. So here's the Mark 60 up at 50,000 feet. Aneurysm, ladies and gentlemen. She had a little bit of a seizure as she came down. 17,000 feet, jumped her nose, now down to 47,000 feet, 1,700 knots, now down to 1,500 knots, and descending. Who is she going to be on? Bringing up the TAC view so you guys can see how that's going to go. Looks like she's going to be on Preacher. TAW Preacher in the F-18. Is he going to need to preach, make something happen, or is he going to be okay as this thing gets a little bit closer? Missiles now down to 2.3 Mach, 33,000 feet. Preacher not doing anything, still got that center line and 10 AMRAAMs on his jet with the wing tank AIM-9s. Looks like he's now getting the missile warning. 0.8 Mach, breaking away, launching a missile. Did he wait too long? Did he wait too long? And I am missing something. Hold on. We're going to pause this. Okay, I am missing something here real quick. I need to grab something so that we can keep track of everything that is going on, because I am missing my notes. And we need the notes, because if we don't have the notes, we're going to miss stuff, which is bad. We don't want to miss things. That's not what I want. I want this. And this. And this is 4v4 Diamond, correct? Yes. Okay. All right. Make sure we're in the right spot. Got it. Pull that in. All right. Let's continue. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I just did not want to miss anything. You did not unpause, game. Okay. We're all lined up and ready to go again. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Just had to make sure that I've got everything ready to rock and roll. We don't want to be missing anything. Just saw a missile come off from Preacher's, one of 10 AIM-120s, which means he's down to 9 remaining. Multiple missiles coming in onto the Moose Marauder and on the Gopnik Tsar. How far away are those? 10 miles. Not bad shots, but not the greatest. Gopnik Tsar is at 11,000 feet. Moose Marauder's at 10,000 feet. TAW is much, much lower. So missiles are going to have to climb up to altitude. Here is Moose Marauder as he comes by. Make sure you guys are awake. It's got to be loud. You got to be ready to go, baby. There's no waiting around. That was a modified breaking the sound barrier sound, and I think it sounds a lot better than the default one because it's awesome, and I don't know where I got it, but it was awesome. Love Echo 9. I don't actually... Is that one from Echo 19 Alpha Gator? I don't remember. But Frosty's in a bit of trouble now. He's got a AIM-54. I think that's on Frosty. Is that on Frosty? It might be. So here's Frosty as he defends the incoming AIM-54, and he's able to notch it, stay in that notch. Mark 60 flies right in front of his aircraft. We can see it skating by, and it may have been on Preacher, but it doesn't matter because now it's in the ground. It's not in the ground. It's in the ground now. So 4 pilots still for both sides. The Gopnik Tsar, Praetorian, the Moose Marauder, and Alpha Gator. Alpha Gator in the F-14 is way down here, isolated on its own. It looks like he jettisoned his fuel tanks. Nice job remembering those. Spectrum, Preacher, TAW, Frosty, and Blaze here in the middle, trying to make something happen. Missile just off from Frosty's aircraft. There it goes, 1 mile away from his jet already. That looks like it's going to be on Praetorian. Praetorian and the JF-17 doesn't have very much of an energy state, but he did launch a SD10 over onto TAW. Frosty going to split screen on both of these guys. Frosty notched it. Didn't even panic, just stayed in that notch, made it happen, and was able to live to fight another day. 120 now, out onto Frosty from the Gopnik Tsar. Frosty, again, just being nice and calm, notching it, not worried about anything. Nice, easy bank turn, doesn't care. Missile is trashed. Now, AIM 54 out from Alpha Gator. It's a Mark 60 again. That missile looks like it's going to be headed up towards Preacher or Spectrum. We're going to grab it and ride along with it. AIM 54, Mark 60, the telephone pole in the flesh. Here she is. As she comes in towards, looks like it's going to be on Preacher. And that missile's going to have some smash by the time it reaches Preacher's jet. And I just saw another AIM 54 come off of Alpha Gator's jet, but Preacher's gone. Preacher gets hammered by the incoming AIM 54. Pause it so we don't miss anything. AIM 54 took him down. You don't want to get smacked in the face by the incoming telephone pole, and that's what happened to Preacher. Just took a sledgehammer right to the I can't even talk. To the schnoz. That's what I was trying to say, and then it didn't work. My mouth just kind of didn't know what it was doing, and I couldn't formulate any words. But here's what is going on so far. Look how tight everyone is in this engagement. Alpha Gator was so far out of the engagement, he just came back in, is like, you just call me out of the engagement, Moltar? I'll show you what being out of the engagement's like. Sends an AIM 54 out and annihilates Preacher. So SPQR up 4 pilots to 3. Spectrum, Blaze, and Frosty are the only ones left for them. We've got an AIM 54 off of Alpha Gator. He's probably got 2 left, maybe, coming in on Blaze and Frosty. Here is that AIM 54 as it comes in towards those guys. Let's continue. So AIM 54 out from Alpha Gator. This one looks like it's going to be on Frosty. Frosty has been calm as a cucumber. Here he is. AIM 54. Where is it? Right there. Notches it again. So TAW Frosty handling this like a pro. No waver at all in his aircraft. At all. Just commits to the notch. Doesn't panic. He's got it down. Now, Gopnik Tsar coming in against Spectrum. He is low. Are they going to see each other? Spectrum's going to be over to the right. I don't see Spectrum yet. There is Spectrum. I think they see each other now. Give me Spectrum. I just saw Alpha Gator, and the reason I'm pausing this, because Alpha Gator just got schmammered by a missile, and I don't know if he's damaged. He is damaged. So he took a missile from Spectrum right in the face, and he, I think, is going down. So the Gopnik Tsar flies right by Alpha Gator, or by Spectrum, and Spectrum puts a missile right into the dome piece of Alpha Gator. And here it comes again, right in the, oh my gosh! Alpha Gator annihilated, and the Gopnik Tsar got a front row seat to that happening. So Gopnik Tsar, now on the 6 of Spectrum, needs to unleash a 120. Oh, he doesn't see him. He does not see Spectrum in this scenario. We're going to pause this again because I see another missile coming off of, I think that's on Frosty. Go and attack view so you guys can see what's going on. I think it's from one of these guys. This may get notched, but here's that missile. Maybe it's from Blaze coming in onto the Gopnik Tsar, and it is right. You guys can see it. It got notched. It's right below Gopnik Tsar's aircraft, 0.2 miles. I think he's going to be okay. I think. Trying to set up some other camera angles here, ladies and gentlemen, so we don't miss anything. But let's continue. Is he going to get away from it? Yes, he does get away from that one. Now we've got a 120 coming from Frosty. Here is that missile as it comes in towards Praetorian. Praetorian waited a while to get that 120 off. I think it may be his doom, and he gets hammered by the 120 from Frosty. And I'm pausing this. I keep pausing it because these guys are so close together that I don't want to miss anything. 120 now out from Blaze onto Gopnik Tsar. Here is that incursion. 120 smashes into the tailpipe of Gopnik Tsar. And now, giving you guys the attack view, we have gone from a 4v3 to a 3v2. 3v1. Moose Marauder is the only one left for SPQR. So as fast as SPQR had the advantage, they are down to one pilot. Ballistic Suppository and Jaster's words, one right after the other. I don't want to miss this. There's a missile coming for Spectrum, so we're going to put these guys on split screen. So here is Spectrum. And I'm going to put, we got Moose Marauder on the other one. There's half and half. Here we go. So missile coming for Spectrum. Close launch, under 2 miles. Spectrum's dead. Unwanted facial, something you never want. Moose Marauder able to get a kill, but he's at what cost? AMRAAM's rapidly encroaching on him. Oh, it's right there. Does it stick with him? No. Barely gets away from that one, but I don't think he gets away from this one. And it collides with the top of his aircraft. And even though Moose Marauder was able to get the quick kill, he gets just as quickly taken down by Frosty. So TAW left with 2 combatants. Blaze and Frosty come out with the W as long as they're able to make it back to base. Fuel may be an issue. I just saw TAW Frosty jettison all of his weapons. They went down, down, down. No sonic boom this time. They got to be over Mach 1 in order to get that sonic boom, unfortunately. That is how physics works. So no sonic boom, no weapons except the fingertip missiles on Frosty's jet, no weapons on Blaze's jet. How far do they have to go back? So they have to RTB. They're going to RTB back to Mineral Voti, which is up here. While we're at TACView, let's take a look and see how that fight went down. So 4v4. TAW entering the fight in a little bit different setup than SPQR. SPQR looks like they're coming into more of a grinder-esque situation. TAW formulates into a wall. Aim 54, first one. Preacher able to get away from that. 120s. Very aggressive coming from Moose Marauder and the Gopnik Czar. 120s exchange between everyone there. Aim 54 out on Frosty. Notches that, no problem. Doesn't care, gone. And then this is when Alpha Gator recommits. When I was giving him a hard time, kind of making fun of him, dogging on him. Launches his Aim 54, comes up and smashes Preacher. Preacher's the first deletion from combat. That just pisses TAW off. TAW takes that one in stride and then opens the floodgates. Spectrum gets it started up here. Comes in on Alpha Gator. And Alpha Gator, I don't know what was going on here. Is there AWACS? There is AWACS. He just doesn't see Spectrum here. And I think not seeing Spectrum was a symptom of him being so low. When you're this low and everybody's low, your situational awareness takes a massive hit. Spectrum, as well as SA taking a massive hit, took a massive hit to the face from Spectrum. Spectrum then launches another 120 to finish him off. He goes down. And unfortunately for SPQR, the Gopnik Czar just doesn't see Spectrum. Just doesn't see him. Flies right on his 6 within a mile. Doesn't find him. Blaze does a good job of pushing Gopnik Czar off. Gopnik Czar notches that really well. I think Gopnik Czar right about now tries to recommit and find Spectrum, but isn't able to and eventually just breaks off the fight. Next one is from Frosty. It's a 120. This missile was launched from 7 miles, 7,000 feet to 14,000 feet. When you're this close, Praetori needs to recognize that you cannot be this high when you're this close to your opposition. It may have been that TAW was low enough that they weren't showing up on data link, but when you suspect that somebody is here, don't be this high. Don't be this high. You're going to die. And that's exactly what happens to Praetorian. He indeed does die. We're down to a 3v2. SD10 flies harmlessly through the engagement. And simultaneously to Praetorian dying, Blaze is able to take down Gopnikzar in a similar setup to how he was on the back of Spectrum. Blaze finds himself on the back of Gopnikzar. And then we're left with one. Moose Marauder all alone in his F-16. Able to take down Spectrum. But unfortunately taking down Spectrum gives his position away, causes him to slow down, allows Blaze and Frosty to close, and he himself gets taken down. And then we're left with two. Frosty and Blaze finishing it out for TAW. As long as they're able to make it back to base. Do we see Mineral Vody yet? I don't see it. Can we see it on Frosty's screen? No, because Blaze is out in front of him. They've just come down through marks. That's tough. I wonder if he didn't have the data link set. Maybe, but everybody could have been low, and maybe they just weren't showing up. Is very well a possibility, Raptor. A little Moltar rhyme. Sometimes I rhyme unintentionally. Sometimes it makes me sound dumb. Sometimes it makes me sound really smart. Just got to roll with it. He had data link on, but TAW did a great job staying low and weren't on DL. Data link is a double-edged sword. If you rely on it and you trust it and you think, hey, there's nobody here, and then you think to yourself, well, then there must be nobody there, you can get yourself into some really poor situations. So you need to make sure that you have depth to your formation. Not that the F-14 would have been participating in that link anyway. You got to make sure that you have depth to your formation so that you don't overlook targets that data link doesn't see but are actually there. And that was just really unfortunate by SPQR. Where is Mineral Vody? It's got to be here somewhere. Over there. There it is. So Blaze looks like he's going to be going straight in, trying to bleed that speed, going up and down. Frosty doing pretty similar maneuver. Air brakes on Blaze's F-16 might as well just not be there. They don't do a whole lot. The gear does a lot more. Gear comes down. He's going straight in here at Mineral Vody. This is going to be the last thing needed in order to close out round one against SPQR. Lined up straight for finals. Mineral Vody brings the brakes in a little bit on Blaze's jet. 190 knots, a little bit fast. May want to slow down a little bit. Then Frosty is just behind him 1 mile. Is going to land on the right side of the runway. Blaze crosses the threshold. Wheels down in 3, 2, 1. There they are. So Blaze sits her down nice and smooth. Back at home at Mineral Vody. We will reverse sides. Go into round two. Can SPQR equalize us? Or is TAW taking this in two? Stick around. We'll be back with round two. SPQR against TAW. Diamond League 4v4 in just a minute. TAW taking on SPQR. TAW leads 1-0. After a back and forth round one, SPQR looked like they were on the right foot after an early kill from Alpha Gator, and then it all crumbled. They weren't able to keep the momentum. TAW was able to get it back, and once it was back, they kept it, committing to an onslaught that turned into an avalanche coming down on top of SPQR. What does SPQR need to do going in here to round two? I think they've got to keep the aggression, and their downfall there in round one really seemed to be the situational awareness. And I saw somebody from SPQR in chat say this. They kind of broke down in communication. They were flying so close to people, I think, I mentioned this during the round, they were making the assumption that because nobody was there on data link, nobody must be there, when in fact, TAW was doing a very good job of masking their presence, flying low so that data link or the AWACS was not able to see them. Now, if SPQR backs off the aggression a little bit and on their egress gets some of that altitude back and they're able to have depth, and what I mean by depth is when one of their guys goes cold, one of their guys is hot. In order to get that altitude back, you must always have people that are viable threats on your opposition. If you just turn cold all the time, your opponents are just going to commit onto your butt and take you down. You're going to try and recommit. As soon as they see you try to recommit, they're going to try and put an AMRAM right up your butt, take away the recommit, and they're going to close the distance to you even further. So if SPQR is going to try and get that altitude, they have got to always have somebody hot on their opponents in order to be a viable threat. In order to counter TAW's low terrain masking tactics, getting higher on the egress and then recommitting with a bit of altitude and finding your opponent at distance using your radar's look-down capability, you're going to be able to remove the component of TAW's tactics of hiding in the terrain. If SPQR is able to do that, I think they've got a very good chance of coming out here in round 2. Another thing that SPQR would do that I'm not a huge proponent of would be to just be more aggressive than TAW. If they're able to be more aggressive than TAW, force TAW to go full cold, and SPQR is able to do what I said earlier of constantly be hot, put missiles on the trying to recommit enemy jets from TAW, they're going to be able to win. So it's either be overly aggressive and force your opponents to go cold, or when you egress, get some of that altitude back. What does TAW stand for? It stands for the art of warfare, is what it stands for. The E-Strike variant, I guess, that is the F-15 we are getting. And from what I understand from pilots, it's a bit of a pig. It's not like the C variant. It's much heavier with the conformal fuel tanks. It doesn't slide through the air like the F-15C does. So I kind of have a feeling that some people may be slightly disappointed in its ability, but that's what I've heard from real pilots. That does not necessarily mean that's what we're going to see in the sim on that aircraft's capability, but that's what I've heard. Nope, it does not. Does not what? Cut through the air like the C variant? Is that what you're talking about? Max speed of the F-15E is Mach 1.85. What is it of the C? So these guys should be finishing up, getting underway. I see TAW. Is TAW all on the runway now? TAW is missing one. There he is. So Frosty over on the ramp still. Looks like he's just getting taxium. TAW did a very good job of weapons utilization. TAW 4v4 is very aggressive, and they seem to recognize, hey, we got 10 AMRAAMs. Let's use them. And they did use them. They used them to great effect. So Spectrum and the other Hornet boys do have the center line fuel tank. They're not taking wing tanks because they've got the 10 AMRAAMs. They've got that dual rack of AMRAAMs on the wing tank pylon. I'm interested to see, too, if Alpha Gator is able to be more effective. TAW took him really out of play after the first kill. He took Preacher down, but using Frosty as an example, who's now taxiing in behind Preacher and Blaze coming up next to Spectrum, TAW has a significant ability to notch. They trust the notch. They trust their defensive abilities, and Frosty was a perfect example of that. You saw no wavering to break out of the notch. He committed to the notch, stayed there, and was able to defeat several incoming threats. So huge shout out to Frosty for that commitment into defensive procedure. We see far too many people committing into a situation like that, and then they just break away. They break away and go cold. Then because they broke out of the notch, they end up dying. It's a panic instinct, and we all have it. You all think, oh, I'm doing this, but it's not working. It's not working. I need to do something else. Then you try and make something else happen, you die. You're dead because you didn't trust the notch. Trust the notch, baby. Army Ranger comes in first time with Prime. Thank you very much, brother. Much appreciated. Just goes right back into making this stream better. I will definitely take it for you. So these guys are just finishing. Taxi now taken off. TAW has come down to Guadada. SPQR is now up at Mineral Vodi. We can see the Gopniks are, like we did last time, taking off. And then we should have the other two getting ready to depart. And I think this is a perfect time to recheck on teams. SPQR, again, being represented by two 16s, a JF-17, and a 14. Moose Marauder Praetorian, the Gopnik Czar, and Alpha Gator for SPQR. And then we have the Art of Warfare, Preacher, Frosty, Blaze, and Spectrum, 3 18s and a 16 coming for the Art of Warfare. What is that noise? Hype Train. What happened? Spectrum came in. Prime, thank you very much. Monk with 100 bits, thank you very much. Frosty, Prime. Yeah, if you guys got Amazon Prime link to Twitch, you get a free sub every month. You do have one. So make sure you utilize that, because if you don't, it just goes away. It's free for Amazon. So, getting rid of... I pushed the wrong button. I'm sorry. Pushed the wrong button. I went to the wrong thing there. Whew. Whew. Sometimes I do that. Still getting used to everything. So thank you very much, guys, for all of the subs and bits. Makes the stream just that much better, because we're able to do things with audio, and I can give people, you know, modules and gear and stuff for helping me out. And I wouldn't be able to do it without my team. You know, it may seem like it's only me, and it did used to be me, but now my team makes this possible. So huge shout outs to my team, Sean and Bear, for everything that they do in the missions, Alpha Whiskey for everything that they've done, for everything that he's done doing video editing and everything. All the videos you guys see right now, like all the supercuts, all the top 5 videos, that comes from Alpha Whiskey. The missions and everything are designed by Bear and Sean, and they have done a tremendous job with automation. Shout outs to Archer from VTAF for doing stats keeping. That has made my life 10 times easier. And then finally, shout outs to Akagi from Cobra Squadron for doing the overlay, and I hope to have that very, very soon. Do I use 3090 SLI? No. I do have one SLI, but DCS doesn't do very well in SLI, so I just use one. No reason to double it up. No reason to double it up. So these guys are closing. We can take a look at the bubble as these guys ingress. And reminder, this bubble does shrink. It does shrink. All right, so every minute after the bubble is contested, the bubble will shrink 1 nautical mile. And it will shrink indefinitely until the bubble is no longer contested and one team controls the bubble entirely. Garrick resubbed. Is that a really loud noise, guys, or is it okay? It's not very loud on my side, but is it really loud for you guys? I just want to make sure that it's not overwhelming. I just hear it, and then it's gone. Is it too loud or is it good? You don't hear it. Okay, perfect. So Garrick with the resub, thank you very much. Much appreciated. That goes straight into the war chest. All right, well, you guys don't hear it. That's perfect. I'm glad that I hear it and not you guys. A little bit of a good thing. Let's connect to real-time telemetry. All right. So we are rolling. Separation between the two teams is 60 miles. Alpha Gator is in trail for SPQR. I would like to see the F-14, and we'll show Alpha Gator here, be more aggressive, but he is way, way back. Not in full wing sweep, not in full gate, just cruising. 283 knots coming through 30,000 feet. I'd like to see the F-14s be more aggressive, get their energy states up, get the altitude up. It just makes your Phoenix that much more of a potential threat. My voice needs to be louder. Is it not loud enough? We can turn it up a little bit. There, is that better? I turned it up a smidgen. So F-14, I see this constantly of teams putting their F-14 in the back. It's not better? What's too loud? You guys are hurting me. It's drowned out by the music. Well, let's try that. Why is F-14 not in burner? That's a good question. I don't know. Too many teams to me try and utilize energy fuel saving tactics, and I think it ends up coming back to bite them in the butt. It ends up costing them more than it saves them. And Alpha Gator, I would have liked to see him high and much faster than this. He's just now coming through Mach 1. AIM 54 just came off of his jet. Normally we would, but we knew TAW would pre-notch long shots. That's fair. That's fair, but I still would try and utilize the F-14 aggressively and put him at the front. If not even notching, but just having the presence of the F-14 there, you're probably going to force your opponents down in altitude while you yourselves are able to maintain that altitude and thereby get better energy and get better altitude for the shots that you take yourselves. So that AIM-54, we're going to ride along with it as it comes in. Here's that AIM-54 as it tracks to its target, possibly on that target's impending doom. Looks like it's on Frosty. Frosty is broken away. Spectrum now, I say it was on Frosty. Spectrum now doing a very similar thing of breaking away. Here's Spectrum. Both these guys look to be preeminently notching. And here is Spectrum in this situation. Turn that down. They've done 90-degree left and a 90-degree right. Frosty to the north, Spectrum to the south. And then the trailing elements of this formation did similar things. So Blaze turned away and Preacher turned away. 120 out from Preacher onto the Gopnik Tsar. And this 120 looks like it's going to be on Frosty, but that thing's trash. It's totally out of energy. It's not going to go anywhere. Nothing. Nobody's going to be worried about that AIM-54 as it encroaches on its target. Turn my voice up a little bit louder. Frosty now. And we can see what Frosty's doing. Here's Frosty trying to do something, but I don't even think this missile's tracking him. It's passing him now. Is it above him? Yeah, there it is. 4 miles away. This missile's not even tracking anybody. The Alpha Gator just launched another AIM-54. He is at 350 knots, 30,000 feet. So not a terrible launch. Mach 1 again. I'd still like to see him faster, but on a Mark 60, as a Mark 60 goes, this one's going to be on Frosty. And here he is defending. That's not bad. AIM-54 still burning. Can we see it from Frosty? There it is, coming in onto Frosty's jet. And I like that shot. Meanwhile, while this missile's continuing to ingress, Spectrum took an AIM-120 shot up at Praetorian in the JF-17 for SPQR. We're going to change the music. No longer ingress music. We need that attack music. So SD-10's trying to catch Spectrum, but it's not going to. We can see it diving. And going back to look at Frosty, that second missile, Frosty was again able to notch, and that missile's trash. You guys can see it on TAC view. So are all these cams from separate PCs? Or are you just doing this all on one? It's all on one. I'm running 3 instances of DCS simultaneously, and then I switch back and forth using hotkeys and macros and all kinds of other stuff. Spectrum now launches a 120. That one's going to be on Gopnik Tsar. Gopnik Tsar needs to be careful in this situation. He may get himself into a 2v1 unrecoverable position if he's not careful. So Gopnik Tsar, we're going to see what he does in this defensive maneuver. Here he is, trying to get away from that 120 launch from Spectrum. He is going to be able to line of sight it, because reminder, TAW in these situations likes to be low. So TAW likes to be low. Gopnik Tsar able to line of sight that missile as it's trying to run him down. Another AIM-54 out from Alpha Gator. There it goes. Alpha Gator looks to again be launching on Blazer Frosty, consistently engaging the northern 2 ship of TAW. Gopnik Tsar, meanwhile, recommitting in onto Spectrum. Can we see his target yet? I can't. He's a few miles away. He's hot. His targets are going to be right on his nose, about co-altitude. Spectrum, 9,000 feet. Preacher, 12,000 feet. Let's put one of these guys on camera. And Gopnik Tsar, as soon as I was saying he was hot, breaks away and turns cold. Preacher now coming in hot. F-18, 12,000 feet, Mach 0.9. Trying to make something happen. AIM-54 up to the north. Here's that AIM-54. Third one launched to the northern 2 ship of Frosty and Blaze. And again, they're doing a phenomenal job of defending. The missile on that particular instance didn't even know which way to go. Had no idea which guy to track. No idea. SD-10. Now, we're going to flip over and look at Spectrum, because he may be in trouble. SD-10 launched onto Spectrum for Praetorian at high. 120 from Praetorian onto Praetorian. SD-10 is going to be on Spectrum's left. He's in a cloud. That doesn't do anything but bog down your visual acuity. Where is that SC-10? There it is. And he notches it. Just constant defensive clinics being put on by TAW. One after the other after the other. TAW doing a phenomenal job of getting away from incoming threats. Gopnik Czar now thinking about recommitting. There's the left bank. 6 120s left on his jet. Coming back in. Preacher and Spectrum against him. Up to the north. While we keep a camera on him, we got a 120 coming in on Frosty and Blaze. That's not going to be a problem. Moose Marauder and Alpha Gator are a little bit separated up to the north. I really like the mutual support being garnered by TAW. Two ship, much closer together. Gopnik Czar is recommitted, or thought about it, then got pushed off by Spectrum. Here's Spectrum, hot onto Gopnik Czar and Praetorian. He's got 8 120s left. Just saw a missile. 2 missiles come off from Preacher. Those missiles are on to, can't tell if they're even tracking. Spectrum just launched a missile. So multiple missiles coming in onto Praetorian and onto the Gopnik Czar. Praetorian launched a 120. That one's going to be on to Spectrum. Spectrum needs to defend. Here he is. We can see the ST-10 diving. Just came out of boost. 3.5 miles away. Closing. 3 miles away. Goes in the notch and trashed. I don't even know why I second-guessed this. TAW's just like, and trashed, and notched, and gone. Just not a chance. Not a chance. AIM 120 now coming in on top of Frosty. Frosty, again, into the notch. Missile's going to be on his left side. Where is it? Where is it? Flies behind him. There it goes. Notched again. Just everybody, not even turning away. Doesn't even bother trying to out-energy a missile. Just gets into it and, baby, trust the notch. And that's exactly what they do. Exactly what they do. So TAC view, this is the position that I wanted SPQR to be in. Everyone hot. SPQR, everyone is cold with the exception of Alpha Gator. Now Gopnik Czar is now recommitting back in. We'll take a look at him. Here's Gopnik Czar as he tries to make something happen. Praetorian now recommitting in with him. AIM 120 out from the Gopnik Czar. Here's that 120. Can't tell who it's on. Now off a boost. Looks like it's on to Blaze. Everybody now coming closer together. So SPQR is coming closer together. TAW coming closer together. But Blaze is going to be able to outrun that missile. Not even close to a potential threat from him. Preacher now trying to make something happen and run down Praetorian or the Gopnik Czar. Here he is. He just launched a 120. There it goes. On to Praetorian or the Gopnik Czar. Can't tell who it's going to be on yet. But Frosty actually has a 120 coming for him. And ST-10 now coming for him. Notched. Notched. Just no problem. I don't even know why I think something's going to happen. No problem. Not a problem or a care in the world. Doesn't care. Gopnik Czar recommitted. Maybe able to make something happen here on Preacher. Coming in. Preacher's left side. I don't think Preacher knows he's there. 3.2 miles. Gopnik Czar has an awesome opportunity here. Launches onto Preacher. Preacher tries to line of sight it. He does line of sight it. Able to get away from it, but I think he's dead to rights. 1.5 miles now. Preacher gets a missile off. That, I think, may connect, and there it is. Preacher gets taken down, but the missile that Preacher got off, let's take a look at TAC view, because everybody's so close that a missile just coming off may spell disaster. So Preacher just got one off. That one looks like it's headed towards Alpha Gator, and then there's one up here. It's not going to be able to catch Praetorian. Praetorian's just dragging a very, very slow missile, but then you got Blaze right here in the thick of it. So let's grab that missile that Preacher just got off. Actually, let's go to Alpha Gator. So here's Alpha Gator and that missile that's coming for him 1.4 miles away. And then we'll move to Blaze because I think Blaze has got something going for him. Split screen. Here we go. So Blaze coming in on the left. Alpha Gator's got a missile. Half mile and face mile. Alpha Gator disintegrated. 120 now out from Blaze. That one looks like it's going up towards the JF-17 of Praetorian. He's getting caught high. I don't think Praetorian gets away from this one. Here it comes. Praetorian gets hammered. And then I think we just missed one. Frosty, I think, was able to take somebody down. Frosty, oh, it's on its way. Where is it? So Frosty's got launched multiple missiles in onto Moose Marauder. Here it comes. Moose Marauder gets pulverized. He's gone. So Gopnik Czar gets the first kill, but all that did was open up the can of whoop-ass that TAW had been saving onto SPQR. Spectrum now coming in onto Gopnik Czar. And going to split screen on both of these guys. So Gopnik Czar merging with Spectrum. Neither of these guys see one another. I think Gopnik Czar recognizes that somebody is over there. He's committed back into him. He may have had a momentary blip on his HSD. 530 knots for Spectrum. 520 knots for Gopnik Czar. Gopnik Czar trying to find somebody. Trying to look for Spectrum. Needs to be thinking about the ground. Some of these maneuvers are a little bit worrisome. Oh, you're really low, Gopnik. You're really low. He seems to be okay. Pull up! And right into the ground. Right into the ground. Ground yet again, undefeated. Ground wins, sends Raptor Dad. It does indeed. And with the ground winning, that means TAW has won as long as they're able to make it back to base. And they've got 3 pilots remaining. Frosty, Blaze, and Spectrum. Preacher being the only casualty coming from TAW's side. Man, Gopnik Czar pried that can open. He had the can opener that TAW was looking for. Took down Preacher. The can, the jar, what have you, then opened full tilt. And TAW, 3 kills in 15 seconds. 3 kills in 15 seconds. Preacher took down Alpha Gator, Blaze took down Praetorian, and Frosty took down the Moose Marauder. That was disgusting. All right, let's turn these volumes down. Let's take a look at the TAC view. Just what happened after that first casualty? So Gopnik Czar gets in here as things get close, finds himself an unsuspecting Preacher. Preacher's looks to be situated on Praetorian. And then Gopnik Czar does this little loop-de-loo, comes right in on the left side of Preacher, unloads a 120. Preacher has no chance on this second one. He was able to line of sight the first one. Takes him down. Then Alpha Gator gets hit by the from the grave 120 from Preacher. Blaze is able to hit an unsuspecting Praetorian who was way too high with not enough energy to be able to run away from that missile. If you're going to be this high, ladies and gentlemen, you better damn well be fast. If you're not fast, you're going to die every time in this low to high shot. Blaze capitalizes on that. Then Frosty smashes Moose Marauder. And that leaves us 1. Gopnik Czar getting the first kill. The man responsible for opening that can then takes himself out in the ground. And that's all she wrote. So TAW able to come out 3 kills in 15 seconds. And while these guys are RTB, let's take a look at the top 3 stats. Frosty leading the way. Not shocking at all. 3-0 on the kill-to-death ratio. 12 shots. Means a 25% hit ratio on his missiles. Blaze following behind that. 2-0 on the kill-to-death ratio. And Spectrum 1-0, which means... Is that right? I want to say one of those 3 died. I feel like one of those 3 died. All 3 are TAW. Yeah, I feel like one of those 3 should have died. Kills don't match up. I'm going to have to speak with our statistician. But Frosty, unsurprisingly, takes the lead. 3-0 kill-to-death ratio. 20 shot missiles carried, 12 fired, 25% hit ratio. Preacher died both times? Yeah, but there were 2 deaths in round 1. I didn't think there were 3. Or 1. There were 2. Preacher and Spectrum died. Spectrum should be 1-1. Spectrum should be 1-1, yeah. But he's showing his 1-0, so he should be 1-1. But these guys are RTB. I don't think you guys need to watch them land. So what we're going to do is I am going to set up a video of the trailer. No, I'm not. That's too much of a pain in the ass. I'm going to give you guys the link to the trailer so that you guys can go watch it in the meantime. Here's the trailer link for the top 5 for last week. So you guys aren't going to watch them land. I'm going to go get something to eat because I'm hungry and I really need something to eat, or I'm going to have issues. I'm going to have issues streaming the next round. I'm already starting to have issues. So next round, Golden Crown taking on LAO. We are going to start that in 15 minutes. That means that 20 past the hour, we are going to move to our next round. Golden Crown against LAO in a 6v6 Gold League matchup. Congratulations to TAW for taking it over SPQR in 2 rounds in this Diamond League 4v4. The next round is Golden Crown against LAO in a 6v6 Gold League matchup. Yeah, hangry issues. I wouldn't say I'm hangry. My blood sugar starts to get low and I start to get a little dizzy and stuff, so I gotta go eat something. But that's our match. I will see you guys back here in 15 minutes for the second round of the day. Golden Crown taking on LAO. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Match 2 is coming down. Golden Crown taking on LAO. 6v6 Gold League. I am ready. Are you ready? Because I sure as hell am. 6v6 is the place to be. Mission location looks to be Sochi against Krasnodar. Man, this is a really popular mission location. But Sochi taking on Krasnodar. There is no supercut yet. There will be. So if you're from either one of these teams, there will be a supercut. Alpha Whiskey just wasn't able to get it done in time. It will be launched on YouTube. Don't fret. It will be there. So they are coming. We're going to enjoy this one. I'm always down for some 6v6 action. I see some liveries. I'm excited. LAOs look pretty cool. I haven't seen these before. I'm not familiar with LAO, so I'm going to try my best on these names, but just consider me a stupid American. All right, I'm going to try. If anybody knows how to pronounce these names, I'm assuming they're Israeli. Please let me know when we go through the team rosters, because that would be a huge help. Anyway, without further ado, enjoy this trailer. When we get back, Golden Crown against LAO 6v6 Gold League will be coming at you. We are in the sim. Krasnodar taking on Sochi. Golden Crown taking on LAO. And we're looking at some of these LAO skins. Let's see who is flying. Golden Crown being represented by Skinner, Gremlin, Hero, Seagull, Wolf, and Isaac. 3 18s, 1 16, and 2 14s. Meanwhile, LAO has 5 16s and 1 18. Itai, Gal, Peleg, Bibi, Omer, and Ile. Did I pronounce those right? Lay? Please, somebody help me. Please. I hate butchering people's names. I hate it. So if anybody knows how to say these names, please enlighten me. It would be a huge, huge help. Or if anybody from LAO is in chat, that would also work very, very well. But these guys are now taxiing. Golden Crown, we see them down at Sochi, right along with Seagull. Hero now pulling out behind him. And the rest of the Golden Crown crew, reminder, 3 18s, 1 16, and 2 14s. And then LAO has 5 16s and 1 18. So as far as the link is concerned, I think it's pretty balanced. The 18s coming from Golden Crown are going to see more, and they're going to participate and send more on the link than the 16s will. But with the 2 14s for Golden Crown that are not going to participate, that's going to take them down a notch. The 16s and the 18, with everyone being able to participate, is going to be good. I think Ite is pronounced Ete. Ete? Ete. Okay. I will try. And I just want everybody to know that I legitimately don't know. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything. I legitimately don't know how to pronounce this stuff. So, these guys are continuing to taxi. I just saw who taxied out there. Ete in the lead F-16. We got a Blue Angels camo livery. What is this? Interesting. Interesting. Ite. Ite. Okay. We'll go with that. Ite. How do you pronounce ILL or LLAY or IIAY? I'm not sure which one of that. Gal's easy. That's probably pronounced. G's probably pronounced a different way over in Israel. So I don't know. I'm happy we're seeing 10 AMRAAMs. The first couple matches were a little worrisome with everybody taking 6 AMRAAMs, thinking we were running last year's weapon restriction. Now that we've got 10, I think I'm much more comfortable for the teams knowing that they're taking all of the weapons that they know they can. TAW in the last match against, I'm pulling a blank. Who were they against? SPQR. Did a very good job of utilizing lots of weapons and continually forcing their opponents on the defensive. So got to give them credit there. I hope that the multiple 18s and 14s, given that they're able to carry more weapons than their 16 counterparts, are able to do the same from Golden Crown. LAO really needs to push and be aggressive coming into this round to be successful. With the number of 16s that they have, in order for them to get this to work, they have to utilize the 16 where it shines. And the 16, in my opinion, where it shines is being hugely aggressive. If they can be aggressive, they can win this match. If Golden Crown can be a little bit more lax and spend their weapons like they're going out of style, this is their match to win. So those are my look-sees coming in here. Isaac in the F-14, I think, is also going to play. Isaac and Wolf in the F-14s, I think, are going to play a pivotal role in here too. So they're both Ite. E-T-A-Y and I-T-A-Y are both pronounced Ite. Interesting. Okay, well, it makes it easy for me. But anyway, the F-14s, I have never seen LAO fly before. So I'm anxious to see how they defend during their first pass, what their first pass ingress looks like, and what their formation looks like coming out of that first pass. Most teams that are new, especially to competitive play, aren't used to seeing long-range Tomcat shots. And I think we're going to see, I have a feeling we're going to see at least one casualty from LAO from a long-range shot. That is my guess coming in here. Seagull and Hero departing up here at Krasnodar. Wheels off the ground, gear coming up. So they are early departures for Golden Crown. Golden Crown looks like they're going to be sets of delayed departures coming here. And then LAO taking a really regimented approach to this airfield. They've already got 2 departures. Oh! Oh, goodness! Well, that's not what you want to see. You do not want to have your aircraft on fire before you take off. It has gone out, so maybe he doesn't really have any damage. There's definitely damage to the front of LAO's aircraft, or BB's aircraft, but I don't really see any damage to Peleg. Am I saying his name right? So he is right here. Peleg. Oh, he's missing his left horizontal stab. Yeah, Snooze, he got booped. And you don't want to get booped when you're in a jet. So are these guys going to depart late? Are they going to respawn? Are they going to take off? That is not a great start for these guys. And does BB's nose wheel steering work? Not a good start. And Peleg looks like he's taking off with a missing left horizontal stab. This could be rough. Is it going to affect him at all? I mean, part of it's still there. Okay, got it. So once you get fast enough, it doesn't happen quite as much. What is happening? Well, Peleg got booped by Captain BB, who is here, in the behind, and that forced Peleg to lose his left horizontal stab. The Trooper Gaming, yeah, that was not a good start. Not a good start if you're LAO. Mr. Bean Crew, looks like BB is going to repair. I just heard his engines turn down. Peleg. Well, I'll just call him Pay. We'll just call him Pay. Makes it easy on me. And on him for not, so I don't butcher his name. These guys are ingressing. Here's the mission location. Krasnodar against Sochi down here to the south. Ite is leading the way. Is that a 2-ship? That does look like a 2-ship. And these guys, the initial guys, are not high. Here's my high 2-ship. Formation flying looks really good from Gal and Ite, the 2 lead F-16s from their squadron. They just jettisoned some tanks. Looks like the wing tanks just came off, or the center lines, excuse me, just came off their jet. Peleg, I'm worried about. He's missing this left horizontal stab. I'm really worried about how this is going to go down for him in this fight. Missing that stab is going to make turning, especially at low speed, very troublesome. The Viper is missing something important. Yes, maybe slightly. Horizontal stab, you know, it only helps you fly and tell your plane where to go. But LAO is still powered off, so he's probably going through the repair procedure. I would actually think it may have been faster for him to grab a new jet. Army Ranger says, nah, it'll buff out. Man, you got a great pit crew if that's how that's going to go. Over Mach 1 for Ite and for Gal as these guys continue to ingress towards the early parts of this match. They're at Mach 1.1, coming up on 1.2. GC is much slower, 0.8, 0.9. One guy's at Mach 1. So Ite and Gal are high. The trail, Pel, and Ite and Omer back in the back are much, much lower, like map of the Earth. I'm interested in these formations that these guys are taking. So here's the two-ship of Omer and Ite. The trailing two-ship on the east side of Ite and Gal in the lead. Ite just launched from 25,000 feet. Multiple 120s. Looks like 2 apiece for these guys. 3 actually coming off from Ite. So he's got 3 left. He's launched half of his weapons complement already. AIM 54 coming for him. That's coming for Gal, actually. And Gal needs to get away from that. Gal. Oh, Gal gets hit. So I thought that could be a problem here early with people. Omer, okay. I thought that could be a problem for LAO in this first pass with early AIM 54 Mark 60s coming for him, and I was not disappointed. AIM 54 came up and slammed Gal. Gal, first departure at 21:48, gets taken down by a Mark 60 from Isaac. And Isaac capitalizing on that early shot, early opportunity there. Another Mark 60 out from, that one looks like it's off from Wolf, and here is that Mark 60. But this one's not tracking anybody. 22,000 feet, still climbing 44,000 feet. Just saw a missile come off from the lead contact of Ite, and that is going to be on to 0. So Ite over here being very, very aggressive. Here he is now as he defends. Map of the Earth, 120 from 0 on him and a 120 from Hero on him. The missile that he launched onto 0 is not going to do anything. 2 missiles only now remaining for Ite. Needs to not worry about those flares because they're not going to do much for him against an active missile threat, which at this range is what he needs to be worried about. So 6 pilots remaining for Golden Crown, 5 now remaining for LAO. Or am I missing somebody? Yeah, one's still BB's still way back here at base. I was confused. Like, why are there 4 when there should be 5? And BB is still way back there at base. So I think the people we need to watch are the Tomcats. Let's go ahead and put one onto Isaac. Here's that camera on Isaac. And the other one, since GC has 2, one is going to be Wolf. So these guys, I think, are the men we need to watch. AIM 54 Mark 60s, high flying 30,000 feet. Another Mark 60 coming off from Isaac's jet as it takes off towards, can we tell who that one's going to be on? Looks like it's going to be on Omer over here to the right, who is hot onto Wolf. Multiple 120s coming out from 0 onto Wolf. And Wolf needs to be careful. Does he know this Mark 60 is coming for him? He's starting to defend. Here is Wolf trying to get away from those incoming missiles. Multiple 120s, 3 120s, count them, 1, 2, 3 were launched from Wolf and 0. Wolf launched an AIM 54. Isaac launched an AIM 54. So Wolf, look at all this crap coming down from the heavens on Omer's ass. Closest one is 1.5 miles away, and slam! Omer gets taken to school. Look at all that crap on data link. Look at this. Look at this. He had nowhere to go. Omer gets disintegrated by multiple munitions. Things not looking good for LAO as Isaac gets 2 early kills. Let's go back and look at our Tomcats. Wolf and Isaac making it rain. Isaac especially. Wolf is now down low at map of the Earth. Isaac still cruising at 25,000 feet. Hero now launching. Missile up at, who is that? Ite. So that missile's going to be, where is it? Where is it? It's on Ite right here. Ite now trying to defend, get away from that missile. Missile's 1.5 miles away. I think it may connect with him. Don't turn back into that, Ite. Closing. 1.5 miles. Face mile feels imminent. 0.4. 0.3. Jogging now. 0.2. It's right there. It's right there. And it just doesn't quite reach him. So close. So close. But what that did allow him to do was close. Right, so Hero is continuing to close over here on the left. Here is Hero. He did not back down. Ite while he was defending, allowed Hero to try and close the gap. And then we have LAO over here on the eastern side of the formation defending against 120s from Zero and Wolf. Wolf buying his time with the AIM-54s. Hasn't launched anything. I don't know how many he's got left. Hero now launches another 120. That one's going to be on to LAO. Or Ite, excuse me. And here's Ite as he defends. And he's turning right back into this 120. Missile is, where is it? Where is it? Oh, went in the ground. Another missile out from Hero. And Ite doesn't respond. Undermile, face melt, boom! Wings clipped off of his aircraft. Hero gets the kill. Pausing this so we can take a look at what the setting currently looks like. 6 pilots still remaining for Golden Crown. And there are only 3 left for LAO. And BB, has he taken off yet? I don't think BB has taken off yet. So really, there's only 2 here in the area. Pele over here on the left, and LAO over here on the right. And he looks like he's in for a bad time as Zero and Wolf bear down on his location. Let's switch over to this point of view. Let's grab Zero. Here is Zero. Let's grab Wolf, and then we will grab LAO. So here is these 2 guys. Putting one more on here. LAO now getting all 3, and we will go to TAC view, try view. Here we go. And LAO in the bottom left corner, he's just in for a bad time. In for a very bad time. AIM-54 is coming for his behind. It wants it, it smells it, and it connects. Wolf takes him down. And I think Isaac just got a 3rd kill. Let me back up. Yeah, Isaac took down Pele. We missed it, but we can check it out on TAC view. And BB, still not in the bubble. Here is this AIM-54 launch. 31,000 feet, Mach 1 onto Pele over here is at 4,000 feet. Pele doesn't even see Isaac. He's launched a 120 up onto Seagull. And here it comes, AIM-54 from 30,000 feet. It's a Mark 60. This thing is still going to hit him. It's going to reach him under boost. It hits him at Mach 3.5. And the Trooper Gaming brings up a good point. Pele still had, or didn't have, he lost it. He didn't still have. It was gone. Voltar, what are you talking about? Was the man that was missing his horizontal stab. So the man that was missing his horizontal stab was the man that was last remaining for LAO. And I think BB, did he disconnect? Yeah, he got killed because he wasn't in the bubble when the bubble was given to Golden Crown. So that is it for Golden Crown. Onslaught. 3 kills from Isaac, 1 kill from Wolf, and 1 kill from Hero. 4 kills came from Tomcats. 1 came from another aircraft. 4 AIM-54 kills, 1 120 kill. AIM-54's wrecked house. Pulverized LAO in this situation. Golden Crown came with their Tomcats ready to fight. And they made it work. And Hero's actually dropping red smoke. What is this? What is this? Hero, what is going on? Let's turn down the volumes. Let's go through the TAC view. We saw the last one on TAC view. There's not going to be much to see because a lot of this was just AIM-54 routing. AIM-54 annihilation. So here's the first one as it comes in against Gal. Smammers. That F-16 just gone. Isaac then finds Omer over here on the right. Long launch from him onto Omer. Omer is sorted on Wolf and Zero at the time, and you just can't outrun the Mark 60. Launch from inside 20 miles. It is not going to happen. Boom. Omer gone. Is switching aircraft allowed? No. Once you lock in your aircraft in round 1, that is it for the match. After the match, you can change, like when you're going against another opponent. But when you lock them in for that match, you can't switch. So Omer then gets taken down. Here's the 1 120 kill from Hero. And Hero just constantly puts Ite on the defensive, launches, defensive, and when Ite recommits, he doesn't respond with 120 of his own to take down Hero. This very well could have been a trade, but he doesn't find Hero. Ite goes down, Hero gets the unopposed kill. Then Pele over here on the left eats the Mach 3.5 aim 54. You're not getting away from that. You got to notch it. And Pele did no such thing, though notching, missing a left horizontal stabilizer would probably be difficult. So I can't really fault him too much for that. Isaac's going to be the first man back, it looks like. Where is he? There's Isaac. He's going to be our first man back to Guadada. We'll pick up the pace here a little bit, because I got things to do today. I got yards to mow. Hypersonic yeet. Yes. Pele got yeeted by the incoming telephone pole from Isaac. The yeeted telephone pole, or not the yeeted telephone pole, the telephone pole caused the yeet of Pele's aircraft. It removed, all it was trying to do was to make Pele's aircraft symmetrical. It really just wanted to remove the right horizontal stab from his jet because it didn't like the asymmetry going on that F-16. It just hit it a little bit too hard. It caused his entire jet to break apart, killing its pilot, which is unfortunate. But we all know that telephone poles aren't very finesse-like. They hit like trucks, and not much is left in their wake. Isaac, 70% engine RPM. Oh, finishing it out here. Looks like he's taking a traditional approach. Gear coming down, going on to base. Still got 3 AIM 54s left. And there's Seagull and Hero behind him. So Golden Crown had plenty of munitions left to make something happen here. Hero says, I think we need to point it out since not many teams are aware of it. That you can't change. Teams know, but maybe viewers don't. So Golden Crown, Isaac, lines up on finals here at Guadada to close out this round. Once he lands, we will go to round 2. Oh, that's an analogy. They hit like trucks. I mean, a person getting hit by a truck, it's bad. You're going to have a bad time if you get hit by a truck. Never heard that before? No? Just me? Maybe it's us Americans and our propensity for violence. Is that what it really is about? Okay. All right. Well, Isaac puts it down, closing out the round for Golden Crown, giving them the round 1 win, and it was dominating. Dominating against LAO. No casualties suffered from Golden Crown. 6 casualties suffered for LAO. We are going to go see round 2. Enjoy the trailer. When we get back, Golden Crown, LAO, round 2, 6v6 Gold League, coming at you in just a minute.
Суммы нули погибают на сцене. Снова один, прогуляюсь без тени.
Oh, Hero, I understand what you're talking about now. So what you're talking about is BB being able to grab a new jet. Oh, I get it. Yeah, maybe there was some discrepancy there about that. I'm not entirely sure, but if you have not taken off, well, even if you've taken off, if you have not left the bubble, and I will show you the bubble here right now. If you have not left the bubble that exists on the map, so the bubble is here, these small bubbles around the airfield. If you've taken off and you've not left that bubble, or if you're still on the ground and you disconnect or become damaged, you are allowed to reslot and take off again. If you leave that bubble, the server will actually not allow you to take another jet. So if you can take a jet, you're allowed to. If you can't, the server's telling you, it's giving you the middle finger, says, nah, and in this case, saying the magic word isn't going to do jack shit. So in his case, in BB's case, he definitely could have taken another jet. He would have had to get everything going again, but he definitely could have. And we did cover that a couple times. We did clarify it last week. We're going to have another team meeting this weekend because we've added some new automation features on score reporting, so that will be coming. And we will clarify that for sure. Pele now in his F-16, the last remaining guy. He did have the missing horizontal stab, so he was at a significant disadvantage there in round one. He was still the last man remaining, so you got to give him credit where credit's due in that particular case. And Pele has disconnected, so I guess he's going to reconnect, I think. But some connection issues coming from the LAO side. LAO, Omer now taking the active. We can see Gal and BB way down there to the south. BB in the F-18, Gal in another 16. There is only one F-18 for LAO. Let's recap the teams and who's flying what. We've got 116 for Golden Crown. That's Skinner. 3 18s, Gremlin, Hero, and Seagull. And then 2 14s that made it rain in round one. Wolf and Isaac. Isaac having 3 kills. 3 kills. LAO rocking 5 16s. Ite, Gal, Pele, BB, Omer, and Ile for these guys. So they've got some advantages in the link, some disadvantages with all those 16s not broadcasting all the features. What happens, I saw in chat, what happens when all 3 rounds are draw for some reason? Then it's a draw. The match ends in a draw. Who's Skinner? We don't have a Skinner on our team? That's a good question. I think it's supposed to be Ite. Alpha Whiskey just probably forgot to change that name. It's probably what ended up happening. Pray enough. That would be my imagining Seagull. It's probably from a prior match that didn't get changed properly. What percentage of people who compete in SATAL use VR? That's been growing, Nightlock. It used to not be very many because VR had a distinctive visual acuity dissatisfaction. Like, it was low. It was harder to see people. With the new headsets that have come out, it has gotten better. And in merges and stuff, VR has a significant advantage with depth perception, visual acuity, being able to see where people are and remember where they are. Do I use VR? No, I don't. The eye candy is not high enough for me. I'm an eye candy whore. It's not high enough for me. So I've got a 65-inch that I play on 3 feet from my face. So it's close. I just don't have the depth perception that people have. I have the immersion factor of everything being big, and I've got touch screens that sit down below it so I can touch and interact with the MFCDs. But VR is just not there for me yet. GC Seagull and his wingman leading off now. Okay, so honest opinions from y'all. Looking to get a new plane. Should I get the 16 or 18? They're both fantastic. What is your favorite plane to fly currently? VR versus ultra wide? VR. Once you get something big, right, where VR is something right on your face, okay? Once you get something big that's right on your face, the immersion is so good that it's hard to go back to anything. Like, I've done single monitor, triple monitor, ultra wide. I've done everything. I've done VR. I'm on a 65-inch now. Once you go big on VR or a massive display, there is no going back. Ever. Okay, so I would not bother with ultra wide if VR is on the table. Don't do it. If you love your visual acuity and you love your eye candy, get a big TV like an OLED. Spend the money that you would spend on a headset. Get an OLED. It's amazing. Not only for DCS, but for any type of gaming, it is phenomenal. What VR headset did you try? I've used the G1. I've used the G2. I've used the Oculus. I've used the, what's the funny name one? Out of China with the really high resolution. What is it? I don't remember. Pimax. Yeah, Pimax. I've used Pimax. It's just not there for me yet. Are you getting an 8K TV? No. 8K, it would cry. Even a 3090 would cry on an 8K. Just wouldn't work. I can push DCS 4K at maybe 60 to 80 FPS with everything maxed out. 8K, 4 times that number of pixels? No way. No way would that happen. HP G2 best so far for money. I would agree with that. Cost per performance, I would agree with that. That seems, the G2 seems to be the sweet spot. The only thing the G2 is lacking is peripheral vision, which the Pimax has because of its wider display. But for the money and what the G2 gives you, I think the G2 is probably the best. It was a big step up over the G1. Opinions on Quest 2? I've never used it, so I can't give you an opinion on that, unfortunately. Maybe one of the guys in chat has, but I would say, guys, if you have the money, get either an HP G2 or a big-ass TV. 48, 55, 65. I guarantee once you go to that level of immersion with things being big, you will never go back. Ever. I mean, playing first-person shooters on PC on my TV on an OLED with those black levels and everything, that's another thing that the VR headsets don't have for me is black levels. I've been spoiled by plasma TVs and my OLEDs. Black levels are big for me, and they just don't have it yet. So once you get black levels like that, dude, your ability to spot dots in DCS is through the roof because now it is a black dot against a blue sky. It's amazing. Do you play IL-2? I do not. I do not, unfortunately. I have a 4K 75, but honestly, I have no idea how to get it set up. You just plug it in like a monitor. That's too big. No, it's not. You just sit a little bit further back. Anybody saying it's too big, just get some lube. I don't know if I should have said that. I mean, table space? No, man. You just mount it on your wall. How do I set it? Mount it on your wall behind the desk. Mine's wall mounted. There's no way I'd sit it on the table. It's too big. You got to wall mount that shit. Wall mount it. Put your desk in front of it, underneath it, and then you go that way. Yeah, Raptor Dad. Interesting low ingress. It is very interesting. This low ingress that LAO is taking, we're watching now with Omer, is OLED ultra wide. Who makes an OLED ultra wide? There's an OLED ultra wide? Really? Shout out to Cypher for being Isaac's Rio. 3 kills in that last round. I head mounted myself. I would love to see that. Your neck would be enormous Enormous. AIM 54 is now out. Multiple. Looks like 3 of them. So we've got AIM 54s coming. They're coming. They smell it. But I think they were launched from a little bit too far away because they're out of juice. Yeah, look at these things. They're struggling. They're on the struggle bus. Either way, I don't think my 2080 Ti would handle this. Dude, it's still 4K. Yeah, it would. The other thing you can do is you can down sample. Like a lot of times when I play, I down sample to 2K to get better frames. Increases spotting. Instead of running 4K, run it at 2K. I can help you do that. You'll be able to run it. You'll run at probably 80 FPS. Pretty easily, Coyote. If not 100 FPS, I would bet. And that's with everything turned up. We should chat. We should chat. Because once you do it, you won't go back. Guarantee it. Get out of the ingress music. So these missiles are done, gone for. They're not going to do anything. And this missile, that AIM 54 is just, it doesn't know what it wants to do. Omer now launching a 120 from low. That's going to be on to Seagull. Let's see what Seagull's got going on. So Seagull right here, also low, carrying a plethora of AIM 120 centerline tank. Trying to get away from that AIM 120 launch run by Omer. Omer now breaking off. You can see him breaking off on TAC view. Seagull's going to be able to out-energy that, just jettison his center line. That was good. Missile is now within 3.1 miles. Hero coming in from the right. Launches a 120. That one's going to be on Ile. And Hero actually has a more pressing threat from a missile launched from Ile. What is that? It's an AIM 54. Oh, LAO changed aircraft. Okay. Oh, Hero got hit! Hero got hit but did not die. So LAO changed aircraft. I was wondering what that was. So BB's in a 14, Gal's in a 15. So this round doesn't really count. But we'll play it out. We will play it out. You can't change aircraft between rounds, unfortunately. AIM 54 now out from LAO. That one's going to be on to 0. 0 now needs to make something happen. Omer. Trying to get my balls. Let's pause this. See what's going on. So we've got. Am I missing something here? Is Hero dead? No, Hero's right here. Who are we missing? Why are there 5 aircraft? Did somebody DC for Golden Crown? No, there's 6. What is wrong with me? I swear, guys, I can count. I swear I can count. All right, so Hero's over here. Seagull is 0. Wolf, Gremlin, and Isaac. This round is officially over already because LAO changed aircraft, but it is what it is. So Seagull has many things coming for his face. We're going to move over and take a look at his view. Here we go. Hero now coming in the F-18, launches a 120. That one's going to be headed up towards BB. Oh, my gosh. BB. No! So Hero gets pulverized by the incoming AMRAAM, but BB is about ready to take. The all-unseen facial gets hammered by the incoming missile. Hero takes down BB from the grave, and then Omer, we missed it. Omer flew into the ground. So Omer flew into the ground, and then Wolf looks like he is about ready to... I think that's going to miss. So there's an aim. It did miss Ite. So Wolf doesn't hit Ite right there. But I didn't see this one. That's not a good sign. AIM 54 coming for Gal down here to the south. This one is thanks to Wolf. Give you guys camera angle. And Gal, that F-15 ain't going to last very long when it gets smacked by the big old telephone pole. Here she comes, right up to get good old pie hole. And Gal gets removed from combat, goes down fighting. And now we've got, trying to keep track of what's going on. Now we've got a 120 coming from Ile up onto 0. Now Ile committing in onto an unsuspecting Wolf. Right in front. Right in front. 120 now off from Eli. No response from Wolf. There's a response. Does it turn in time? Yes, it does. Does it track? Tracking. Trying. MK60. Here she comes. The pain train is about to connect with Eli slowly but sure. Oh, what? What? Oh, okay. I thought I had no idea. And wow, little bit of desync. Eli gets hammered by the from the grave AIM 54. I thought it missed, and then I thought he was still going to live, and then just exploded. Oh, Eli, I thought you had it, but it wasn't meant to be. So that means there are 3 pilots? 2? 3? So we've got Eli, Ite, these 2 left. So we've got Ite and Pele. So let's put cameras on both of those guys. What is it? That's not right. Cameras on both of these guys. There we go. And then one on Pele. Split screen. Let's continue the action. So F-16's 1 high. Pele is high. Ite is low. Ite's trying to run away now, recommitting. Missile just came off from Pele's aircraft. That one looks like it's tracking. Are we behind on? We're a little bit behind on one of these cameras. Let's fast forward this. I need to pause all of these because we are off. Okay, so this one's got to fast forward. Oh, no, we missed it. We'll watch it on the other one. So who got hit? Ite got hit? No, we can't watch it on the other one. No, we can't. Damn it. I screwed up the cameras. So in that particular situation, ladies and gentlemen, Ite got in here a little bit deep, and a smorgasbord of different missiles, one from Siegel, one from Isaac, are coming for him. And Ite just can't get away from him, gets plowed under by the AIM-54 launched from Isaac. So Isaac continuing on his domination now with 4 kills. Only F-14 remaining right now. 120 almost makes it, but now we're down to 1, and that is Pele. So can Pele make something happen here? Can he, with those 5 missiles, avenge his fallen comrades? I'm guessing no, but he is going to try. 4 aircraft remaining for Golden Crown. Hero and Wolf have gone down so far. 120 now out. Why is this fast forwarding? The second round has been rough for me. Pause this. Let the attack view catch up. All right, we're on now. So Pele launched an AIM-54. He's dragging an AIM-120 right there. 0.4 miles, 0.3, 0.2. It's close, but just doesn't have the gusto to get the final little bit to connect with Pele. But he's got Gremlin and Siegel slowly running him down. He's got a trail of not AIM-54s, of Golden Crown combatants trying to chase him. Let's grab Gremlin here. Grab Gremlin's point of view. Gremlin's low. Trying to run down Pele. 5 miles in trail, another 120 out from Gremlin. Trying to keep Pele on the defensive, not allow him to recommit. Pele. Is that missile going to make it over? No, it got line of sighted. So they are within padlock range. So we got these 2 padlocked now. Pele, 570 knots. Gremlin, 599. So Gremlin has closure. 4 miles now. Pele, not sure if he knows somebody's behind him. 3.5 miles, increasing the closure rate for Gremlin. Gremlin slowly climbing so he doesn't lose track of Pele over the hills. He's within kill range. There goes the 120 from Pele. This should be it. This should be the last missile fired in this round, and it is. Pele gets demolished by the incoming baby fence post from Gremlin. Gremlin taking out the last combatant. for LAO, and LAO did much better in that round. Unfortunately, they changed aircraft, which solidified the round being a GC win from the get-go, but GC played it out. They won anyway, so it really didn't matter. Did Pele hit the wall of the bubble? No, he got hit by a missile. 120 hit him. And that's it, guys. That is it. With this many pilots remaining, I don't think we need to worry about the RTB, but we are going to take a look at the TAC view while they do so and see what happened. That was a chaotic match. Chaotic round, I should say. Round one wasn't really chaotic. It was very one-sided. So missiles out from the lead two ship, Ile, and who's that with him? Omer. Omer eventually able to connect onto Hero. I think it's this pass. Hero gets in a little bit too close, lets his guard down, gets taken to school by the incoming 120. However, he's able to get a 120 off on a high-flying 27,000-foot BB. And BB, being this high, needs to be a lot faster and recognize that, hey, there's potential threats within 10 miles, and if somebody shoots at me, I'm probably going to die. And what does BB do? They go and die to the incoming 120. So we're equal trade, 5v5 now. Then, this is the one we didn't see. Omer then flies into the ground on a bank turn. I think it's right here. Just whoop! Ground reaches out. We all know how it does it. Sometimes that ground just comes out of nowhere, grabs you, and pulls you down. And Omer is its latest casualty. Out of nowhere, he goes down. Wolf then comes in with the AIM-54s from close range. Takes one to the face right there, but able to get one off. Onto Ile. And this was a really weird one. Did it actually miss? No, it hit. It hit. Something happened. So the explosion we saw was actually from Seagull. The missile, the AIM-54 we saw, I think actually missed. He was able to notch it. And then the explosion we saw was from the 120. So good bit of dodging by Ile, but not able to get away from that close launch 120. Unfortunately, he had to defend two different missiles from two different directions, and it just wasn't going to happen. Then Ite comes in here, gets hammered from multiple directions, takes facials from all around the room. That's something you don't want. He actually, I think, takes himself out. Nope, it's an AIM-54 from Isaac. So Isaac sends a telephone pole, smacks him in the face. Ite goes down, and then we're left with just Pele. And Pele, try as he might, tries to run away, but not able to outrun his fate. Gremlin eventually able to catch up with him, as fate usually does. Sends the 120. Is so close, Pele's not able to do anything. And he finally succumbs. GC then wins it all in 2 rounds. Wins it in 2. Pretty one-sided against LAO. LAO is brand new to this competition, and they're fighting against some veterans of the competitive field. So I can't fault them. They're brand new to this. Great job, LAO. You got 2 kills in round 2. Great job. The Golden Crown takes it in 2. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We have our next match is going to be tomorrow, 1600 Zulu, and it is going to be Harpia taking on Eclipse Task Force in Diamond League 4v4. So Harpia against Eclipse Task Force in Diamond League 4v4s tomorrow. And then Thursday is going to be Bravo Squadron against number 15 and TAW against 14th. Those are going to be your Thursday matches. And then we round out the week Friday with TMC against Toro Squadron. So those are the matches. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'm sure I will. I will see you all tomorrow at 1600 Zulu. Reminder, the match is Eclipse Task Force against Harpia. Be watching on YouTube for the Supercut for this match. I'm sorry it came out late. I don't think it's been posted yet, but we'll see. We'll see. But until then, 1600 Zulu, next match. Only one tomorrow. We don't typically run double headers. They only come up every once in a while. So tomorrow is a singleton. Just one match. Most of them are one match. Maybe one a week's going to be a doubleheader. I think we actually have another one, and that's going to be Thursday. It's going to be a doubleheader, but just one match tomorrow. So I will see you guys all tomorrow, 1600 Zulu. Until then, stay safe in those virtual skies, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good one. See you later.